Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wildcard round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Panthers going up against the Vikings. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And the grab by Croft. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Now it's Newton. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Carolina! Their dangerous wide receiver, 51 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Hey. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And incomplete to open things up. Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third down now following the completed pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time.
For only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the
touchdown, Carolina. Philip Dorsett, 41 yards. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And they went big on first down, proves unfruitful. And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
When Shaq Thompson declared for the draft, I said he should be a running back in the NFL. He said no way, he'd rather hit people as a linebacker.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Bridgewater. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Third down and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Bridgewater. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And now the offense operates in the red zone. First down, Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. Down the numbers. There he goes. The 30. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Dan Williams in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They go play action. Bridgewater. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. A great read, and it's picked off. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now following the interception, here's Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there, a 22. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Second down, just 1 yard to go. Now they'll run it on the toss. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on. And this one through the uprights and good. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Let's go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught. Michael Pruitt. 13 yards there on the pickup, and that leads to a Minnesota first down. Fresh set of downs here.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Bridgewater. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Bridgewater. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On third down, Bridgewater. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. 4th down, they're going. Bridgewater. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the pickup. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Bridgewater, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Second down, Bridgewater. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Play fake. Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Panthers have got it on cruise control. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker.
And that's caught inside the 30. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. K1 short in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. They'll come out in the pistol. Bridgewater now on second down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now they'll run it on the toss. Stays on his feet. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real...
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Newton now to throw. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now out comes Minnesota. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. He's got time. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use...
He's got a man complete. It's a pickup of 33 yards, and it'll give the Vikings a first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And on 2nd and 10 now. second down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 23 yards on the play.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. To throw is Bridgewater. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And now
get it there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
To throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. K1 Short in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Open man is Treadwell, and he's got it for the Minnesota touchdown. Laquan Treadwell, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They juked him. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. On second down, here's Newton. And the grab by Croft. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right.
On first down, it's Newton. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
To the air again, Newton. Finding his safety valve here, that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. Second down, Bridgewater. He sets to fire deep. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally, someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Third and long for Bridgewater. He's going to let it go again. And, oh, they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And quickly, they get to the line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Look, that's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Colby Listenby, 61 yards. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback.
That's caught at the 25. A big play there for the Panthers. 56 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Bridgewater to throw it. And this one is incomplete. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 52 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive game, or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now a 1st down following that long gain. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Newton. This will be caught at about the 5. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways. Right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Tyler Kroft from 3 yards out. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on. And he puts it through. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to...
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get loaded in those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Here's Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
From the 50, Newton. He's going to loft one deep, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Following the interception here. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why. And
they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the... Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Now the Panthers get set, 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to account for Cam Newton on this play.
Now a handoff looking right, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary.
Let's go. Tiger.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Oh, looked like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a first down. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
On second down, Bridgewater again. He's going to let it fly. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On third down, Bridgewater. Caught left side by Cobb. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Bridgewater. This is Cobb with a catch right side. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Carolina getting set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. No gain, and it's second down. Gano now to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, They had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. Bridgewater on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages.
We got three. Tiger. Check 43.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
You don't want none. Let's go. Fourth. Hey, check 22.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. He's going to and my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Carolina getting set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And that will write a finish to this ball game. He said they were poised to make a deep run in the playoffs this season, and it's off to a terrific start with a win here.
And once you get to the second round of the playoffs, your goals have been met in a big way, and now you can start to think even bigger.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.